Yeah, and it reminds me of a conversation I had with Laurie Havlovitz and her team. This is so at Cardinal Health last week, and she said the exact same thing that you're saying, which is you have to build this engagement when you're not in the market looking for people, right? Your culture, who you are, what you stand for, so they know if and when they are in the market, they know who to go to, right? So you're kind of outshining the competition, just showcasing your culture and being human and talking about what values you strive for. So that's unbelievable. Now, the one of the other things that you had talked about, right, which is for people who do not belong to economically disadvantaged or a minority community, what kind of experiences have you seen that for them to have a light bulb moment saying, oh, is it this hard for somebody whose parents haven't got a college degree, haven't got certifications to break into cyber? So how, like, what examples have you seen about people who have not been exposed to this? Once they do get the exposure, they're like converted.
Yeah, it's always that light bulb moment, right? And helping people get there. I think being a part of the underrepresented community, we have to be open to educating our colleagues on what it means to be Black or Hispanic or LGBTQ. I mean, we have to be the ones to educate them because they don't know, right? And so the other thing is really speaking up, right? When you see something, say something. When we see that things aren't right, really taking the time to educate our colleagues on why that was offensive. You know, why did that comment really send, you know, Kim in a tizzy, right? We have to explain to people. I think those experiences aren't something that they can share with us, but they can share it through a conversation or sharing a story. And so there are these moments that we have at Carrier where we do this. We kind of have, you know, people share their experience, we record them, and then we share those moments with everybody within the organization. And that really helps them to, you know, number one, understand what it means to be, you know, in that position where something has happened and they have empathy, right? I think you have to really tell those stories and you have to be committed to telling them, you know, more frequently. And when you do that, I think that that's when you start to see change.
Yeah, and talking about stories, and this still is in my head, and we talked about this when we first connected a couple of weeks ago, which is when you were selling your home, right? And in this case, the challenge about saying, hey, when you're in the business of selling a home, and the buyer needs to not know what sort of community that one belongs to. Now it strikes me because yes, it probably makes sense or some, so they don't know what sorts of who the previous owner was, what background they belong to, but at the same time it does leave a mark of saying in terms of okay, our unconscious and conscious biases that play into house buying. I mean, not to talk about technology and who you want to work with. So again, these kind, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, the stories that you talk about in terms of how these things are actually interpreted by people do make a very, very strong argument, right? So again, as we get into the wrap up portion of the show, I mean, any advice to fellow CISOs, right, who may not belong to a company like Carrier where DI is more than just a tick box, right? This is something you guys live and breathe. If he or she is trying to make a difference, I mean, do you start with educating your colleagues, your upper management, your team, and where do you start?
Oh gosh, that's really a good question. I think the first thing you can do is to become an ally, right? If you're not in the community, you know, support the community, and the community will help you understand what's required or what's needed, right? And I think we all play our part. When I think about technology and access to technology in underrepresented communities, it's just not there. We have to bring our colleagues along. We have to bring citizens who don't get the opportunity to be a part of the technology community. We have to help them. And so there's a responsibility in actually going to schools and to talking to kids about this opportunity to be in technology, and that that's a path that they could potentially take in their future. The ally piece is big. It's also committing, making a commitment to diversity and inclusion, and starting with your own team, right? You're your own best advocate. And the more that you advocate by showing people that it can be done and it can be done well, is like the first step. And talking about it and helping other leaders to do the same thing, that's really kind of walking the walk and talking the talk. And that's how we move the needle. So to me, really making your commitment known, showing up and being an ally and being very supportive is key, and what we should all do in the CISO community.
Got it. Amazing conversation again, Nicole. Thanks for your leadership and all that you're doing within Carrier and outside in the broader community as well. Thank you.
Thank you.